Hello and welcome to Flying Safari, a virtual reality experience that lets players experience the joys of flight and exploration. I'm Alex Bunting, and this is my submission for the Capstone Project of the Udacity Virtual Reality Nanodegree. I'll be doing a quick playthrough of my game and pointing out how I meet the achievements required by the Capstone Project. First off, in this starting room, two achievements are met. One's the scale achievement. We can see a number of objects around the room scaled appropriately to place the player in a human-sized room. And we also have the lighting achievement. A number of mixed lights are used to get high-quality baked ambient occlusion, as well as real-time dynamic shadows, such as we can see being cast by this rotating model of the flying machine. I'll skip through some of the UI text just so we can get started with the game itself. And now we can see that the animation achievement is being met as the player is being lowered down into a hangar below and sees their flying machine for the first time animating and coming out towards them. And again, we've got some dramatic lighting casting some interesting shadows as the plane is revealed. We've got a few more instructions about how to fly the machine that I'll just skip through. The machine itself is an example of where I meet the 3D modeling achievement, as this entire model was designed in Google Blocks VR for the primary design of the wings, and then it was imported into Blender for finishing touches such as doing the frame and also building the steering wheel. And we're just about to go out and launch into the actual main safari park where the gameplay occurs. Here we can see some of the examples of where I made the sound design achievement. For example, we've got the sound of the waterfall falling down behind me, and we also had the clanking of the rollers as the plane was moved along. And now that we're actually in the park, I've got a striking demonstration of the locomotion achievement. I can control the flight of the plane to move around the park by turning my hand controllers, which turns the steering wheel, and pushing forward or pulling back on the wheel to pitch the plane up and down. And I've got quite a precise degree of control to move around the environment. This also satisfies the physics achievement, as the mechanics of the plane operate on physics-based principles. So turning the steering wheel turns the wings and causes a torque on the plane that causes it to roll, and then as it rolls it also banks around just like a real plane does. We can also see in this canyon that a custom compute shader is being used. This compute shader uses the global X, Y, and Z positions of a pixel to basically modify a color, and we get these nice ripples of color going up and down that look like layers of rock deposited over time. Now we're entering the main park itself of the safari landscape, and here's some giraffe coming up. They've just started walking. I'll deploy my camera, which slows down time a little so I can take a photo, and there we go, I've taken a photo of the giraffes. And that's an example of the gamification in the Flying Safari game. There are a number of different types of animals to find, 9 to be precise, hidden around the park. So the user has a challenge to go and find them, because some of them can be quite hard to spot. These animals also demonstrate the AI achievement as they make use of the Unity navigation system, as well as waypoints to navigate around the terrain and avoid running into each other, as well as avoiding obstacles in the terrain like these trees. I'll grab a photo of this bear as I go past as well. The park's quite large, so as I fly around I'll probably fast forward for a bit until I get to the end, but here's an example of how some of the precise flying you can do moving through the terrain. Unlike at the start, where the scale made you feel a regular human size, the landscape in the safari park itself is deliberately large to make you feel small and like you're exploring a vast landscape. It also provides a bit more vertically interesting terrain, which is much more fun to fly around. Here we are, pretty much at the end of the park. I haven't gone everywhere, but I'll land now so that we can see how many of the animals I did manage to find. Here we are, we can see all the photos that I've taken while I was exploring the park, and they're also labeled with what actually animals I saw in them: giraffe, seagulls, shark, and the elephants at the end. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed watching me play, and I hope you get the chance to try it yourself.